right now. Mouse on the play button. 3, 2, 1. Unpause. And we're in.
Are we?
Yeah, we're in. It's going.
Oh, it takes a little while to...
It's a slow roll into it, yeah.
Gotcha. Wait, did we skip the little...
Nope.
No, it's happening.
What? Oh. Whoa. Okay.
I think on Vimeo, I don't think it has that much lead.
I'm confused.
Right.
Yeah, whatever.
Sorry, we may be... Well, with the lag, it'll it'll match.
It's a brief entry, but a merry one.
Someone talk about this one.
Well, we've got to wait till it gets in there.
Yeah, right now it's a title.
Yeah. So...
Well, this is the memento of this year.
Yes.
It's as a film, it's one of the most wildly creative concepts.
Absolutely.
And extremely polished.
And extremely well made. This is some very high-end filmmaking here with real stuff happening.
Yeah, beautiful jib shot. I love the color palette here. I really like the. It's it's a park, but it's a relatively shallow depth of field. I really like all this stuff here.
Well, I think the depth of field is actually pretty deep, but
deep,
it's the lighting that makes it
shallow,
fall off.
Yeah. And as a concept, I really
very good idea.
Great idea.
Done very well.
Yeah.
It's one thing to have a good idea. It's another thing to execute its full potential.
I think the music helps a great deal.
Right.
I mean it would be it's fine even watching it now, but the music really makes it come together, as music should, as opposed to distracting from it.
And I mean, you can't really talk about any moment of choreography without talking about the choreography as a whole, because of the very nature of it. From a choreography standpoint, I really like it. I really like it's a logical progression. It's not the longest fight, but I really like how, I mean, you get the drama, the tension. That's a sort of an awkward position, but I buy it enough. Like it's not bad. This I just really like the flow of one move from another, and how it's kind of a perfect palindrome of a fight. You can really watch it neither forward or backward, and you really kind of get it's enjoyable in both directions, I guess.
Yeah, I'm of the same mind. Initially, I was kind of like, well, there's not a lot of choreography, but going back to what we were talking about with Eclipse in previous years and stuff like that, it's very well done choreography because every strike matters.
Yeah, everything counts.
Now, as you should chime in about what we talked about before.
Well, and I don't know if we'll be mentioning these as we go, but I have this as my number 2. I just personally, I think we all did a 1, 2, 3, and then we did a whole voting thing based on points. And the thing is, I think I like the concept of this and the idea of it more than I necessarily like the execution of the choreography itself, because I think the thing is, you just opened the door into an outstanding little world of a way to show choreography in a way that people haven't seen before,
right.
And it has kind of its own rules to it. But I don't feel like there's anything here that really utilizes that in a way that I feel like this is just some good, well thought out choreography. I like the credits running backwards.
Yeah. That was slick.
I feel like this is just some good choreography that then is run backwards, and it wasn't really built to utilize it. I mean, I feel like this is a great idea, but I think a number of us, like in this room, or those out there who also did other entries, if you put on your Michel Gondry hat for about 20 minutes, you come up with a lot of really interesting ideas of ways to sort of, foreshadow things and have things that end up, you think you know how that happened, but as you get back to the beginning, you didn't, and you can, it's a whole different little way.
Yeah, weird setup instead of payoff and stuff like that. I do want to say I had a little bit of an issue with the quote at the end, not because it's a Bible quote, but just because, like, I got it. Like, I feel like you're underselling the audience a little bit by telling them what the point is when it seemed pretty clear.
Right. But you shouldn't need that to make your point. And if you do need the quote, the title card at the end, then you haven't made your point in the film.
Right.
But the film makes its point beautifully.
I think the film did make its point, which makes the title card unnecessary.
Yeah, but I'm sure he's going to want to, show this in church and stuff like that. And so
he should.
The quote
if it was made with church equipment, it's very stunning.
Oh, yeah.
This shows off that you guys are clearly great at whatever video production you're doing.
That's going to kill at church. That's going to be a wow. That's going to run forever, and rightly so.
And also,
it deserves to.
This is one of the entries that I think will have a life on YouTube as well.
Absolutely.
Brian, how do you feel about the short, the filmmaking, the fighting?
It's at its core, it's a really good idea executed, not perfectly, but very, very well. And just an interesting idea done well. Which, I mean, the hardest part about filmmaking is having a good idea at the start of it. And if you can do that, you've won more than 3/4 of the battle. And then the rest of it is done very professionally, very well, and and with a
Stylish.
style, with an identity. It looks different. It feels like I'm watching this. I'm not watching anything else. I'm watching this specifically. And that's definitely a feeling you want to convey.
Trey Stokes, award-winning creator of Pink 5.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I was just like throwing that at you. The Amazing Stokes.
But yeah, where's the amazing? Hold on.
Trey the Amazing Stokes.
Yes. I think this is again, as filmically, I think this is the best entry in terms of the overall achievement as a minor motion picture. This I think is technically the best one, which we're not grading on, but I just want to make sure that I say that because I think it's really quite an amazing achievement. I have to say that Teague is giving.
People are telling me to lean forward. Sorry.
Yeah, fine.
Jesus.
Where's Arc
We
2?
can't see him smoke his e-cigarette, and that's important. Important information. And I can't stress enough that from the first frame I was like, what is this? This is quite something. And the fact that it happens to have lightsabers in it makes it eligible for this contest. But it's I think that's so such a little part of what that overall achievement is, and it really, absolutely, I salute it tremendously.
Cool
I
movie.
will say the one thing is I didn't quite get, it was only the quote that made me understand what it was I had just seen.
Oh, really?
I didn't quite get it the first time. I have to say that.
I thought the title, The Full Measure of Devotion, I thought that.
And I have
But
to say,
if the quote made it work,
and
then,
I will say
then
this
I'm
also,
wrong.
even at a second viewing, maybe I need to watch it and watch it like it was maybe intended to be like watch it backwards and really kind of fully get it, like play it backwards on QuickTime or something like that. Did he save his friend by doing that?
No,
Yes,
he died.
yes. No,
Okay, he did save his friend. Okay.
He died, and
But he
there's
saved his friend.
there's a move where the move that he plays backwards and forwards,
okay.
just to make sure you understand that it's going backwards.
I didn't quite get it.
And in that move, he slices through the other guy's waist. So he kills the other guy, but in so doing, he dies himself.
All right, then again, I but that's probably more my fault than the film's fault, because I think this is a film that it kind of makes you want to watch it more than one time.
Exactly.
And I haven't had that opportunity. I've only had a chance to see it a few times.
Before I go to Ryan, I want to read an excerpt out of his email that he sent me. In the credits under Rotoscope Artists, you'll see that my name as well as my son's name. He's 9. I showed him how to use Bezier curves in motion, and he did one saber. It's the red saber when the green saber's turning off. He also operated the DVRs while we were filming, and he would record playback for each take so I could see it on set. I'm starting him young.
That is adorable.
That's adorable.
That is
All right,
adorable.
then.
Ryan Wieber.
Or child abuse, depending on
Yeah,
how you look
what's
at
that
it.
about? We're gonna send someone
Lightsaber
to
rotoscoping.
We're sending someone over right away to put a stop to it.
I know.
It's only child abuse if you move your child to Korea and then make him do the rotoing. Ryan.
Yeah, I think I kind of summed up most of my opinion just a couple of minutes ago, but I'm putting this as number 2 on my list of top 3, and primarily I'm awarding the concept because this is just very, very inventive and creative in terms of how to show a lightsaber fight, and I really appreciate that. And even though I think that it could be explored even further in terms of its choreography itself, I think it's just such a cool idea, and it's very well done for what it is, that I think it's really a strong entry.
Michael Dorkman Scott, creator of Kung Fu Red.
Yeah. As soon as I realized that it was going backwards, I was like, I got very excited because I'm like, that's awesome. I wouldn't have thought of that, and that's a great way to, like you say, it's a very original way to show. I'm in agreement with you that I don't think it leveraged all of the opportunities that were given of going backwards, of being able to do setup and payoff, but backwards, where the payoff is the setup and vice versa, etc. But as a film, I think it's definitely the most creative concept, and I'm with you, Brian, that's half the battle. It's like, wow, that's awesome. It got my attention, and it made me pay attention the whole time. I think the choreography could have been more creative, certainly, but at the same time, every move does count. You see the consequences, and then you see it move backwards through the move and stuff like that. So even though there's not a lot of choreography, I still think, and it's not as well thought out as maybe it could have been, I still think it is one of the best thought out of this competition, absolutely.